The ESPN layoffs are a product of just kind of woke media at its worst. You understand what I'm trying to say? You got people talking about stuff, doing stuff, saying stuff that has nothing to do with sports. Even if I agree with somebody like Kurt Schilling, right, who they got rid of a long time ago, right? Even if I agree with that, like it still has no place in sports. It has no place on a platform like ESPN. Where ESPN messed up, right? This is what ESPN messed up. They messed up when they decided that talking about sports was not good enough, right? A lot of the stuff that the NFL did, taking the knee, the Black National Anthem, like their ratings took a hit. But at the end of the day, when you got stars like Josh Allen, you know, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. Like I can keep going on and on and on. They got so many stars. So once they dropped all the woke stuff and just got back to talking about the stars, bro, that's when the fan base was like, all right, we can kind of tolerate y'all, but just keep it football. Like people spend a bunch of money to go see, Pat Mahomes do what he does best, and that's improvise and be one of the best players of my generation, hands down. Like he's going in that direction of being, my generation's football of Jordan, and Brady was a part of my generation too. So we talking about he coming for Brady basically. All right, like keeping it sports. This whole rant is about ESPN just keeping it sports. And if they don't keep it sports, people are just going to stop watching it. Now, I done heard rumors that they're going to try to cut the cable services, right, to provide like what is it called? It's like a Netflix type where you get all these live sports, all these live games, all these live events, somewhere between $20 to $25 a month, right? Would y'all pay that? Would you guys pay $20 to $25 a month for ESPN Plus with the UFC events, with some of the NHL games, the MLB games, the exclusive stuff? They like if I think if they did that, I legit think that people would pay for that because if you're saying okay, I could get maybe twice as many games on the app, I can get twice as many NHL games. You won't need like center ice or extra innings or anything like that, or center court, or a league pass. Like it just kind of so like there's so many different apps out here that give you so many different things, and ESPN could go in that direction, man. They're trying to cut costs. They got rid of Jalen Rose. They got rid of Max Kellerman. Jeff Van Gundy's gone. Like they're cleaning house, and the reason why they're doing that is because of the wokeness, man. They just can't afford these guys anymore, man. People are just not watching it. They're not making the money that they're supposed to be making with these huge contracts with the NBA. Like that's the truth of the matter. And if they ever want to get back to the glory days, man, the glory days where everybody's watching the finals on ABC, everybody was tuning in to watch the Red Wings do their thing back in the mid '90s. Like it was sports, man, and the personalities just kind of the Stuart Scotts out there, your Linda Cones out there. Like they just amplified the spot, man. They made you want to watch it, and Van Pelt does a good job of that too. But it's just like they've got so many issues, man, and so many people losing their job over that stuff, man, because they refuse to keep it sports, man. And people are just sick and tired of it. We sick and tired of politics and sports. We're just tired of it. We're sick of it. And if you're not sick of it, you probably should be. That's like going to the grocery store, right? And some activist coming up and they're talking about they're slicing up a baby lamb. They're slicing up a pork chop in the back. Ah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what are people supposed to do? Where are they supposed to go to get meat? You know what I'm saying? We're carnivores. That's what we do. We eat meat. We eat animal. Like hey, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to turn to no activist or nothing, but I'm just saying that as an example. You go to the grocery store to get food, whether it be meat, sandwiches, whatever. And we go to ESPN, right, for sports. We don't go to ESPN for no CNN breaking news about somebody not liking a president. Like don't nobody give a damn about what if Steph Curry likes a president or not. Who cares? I don't care. Who cares if LeBron likes with some type of decision that came down from the Supreme Court or not, man? Who cares? I didn't tune in for that. I didn't tune in for this man's opinion about that. Like, think about it. In the late to mid '90s, right? When you turned on Sports Center, what did you see? You saw, oh man, the Bulls winning '72. That's what you heard about. You didn't hear about Michael Jordan going to Atlanta. Well, matter of fact, you might have heard about that, right? But you didn't hear about the politics. You didn't hear about the politics in the locker room. You didn't hear that. How that guy get down there? He glitched down there, right? You didn't like. You didn't hear about the politics about sports. You just heard the stuff that you really cared about, which was sports. I loved NFL primetime because it was Tom Jackson, Chris Berman, and some dope ass highlights with some legendary music in the background. Like that's what it was. That was it. Bare bones. And then Tom Jackson would come in and he'd tell you how he felt about the player, how he felt about the trajectory of a team. And then Berman would just kind of feed off of that. That was great television, bro. It was great television in the mid '90s. I was pumped up every single Sunday after my team won, right, to watch NFL primetime before the Sunday night game. I used to love that. All right. When ESPN was just sports, they were great, man. Like, let's just be real. When they were just about sports, they were great. When it turned into this virtue signaling crap, man, you know what I'm saying? Showing all these political things. This player's kneeling over here. Why is he kneeling? Oh, because I don't agree with this section of America. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with this section of America. I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give a damn about none of that, man. We just care if you can throw a football 50 yards. That's all we care about. I ain't come over here to hear you say that. If they want to be activists, they can be activists off the field, whether they're not playing the jersey. All right, don't use your platform for that, man. You know, I didn't even like. I'm gonna be real with you. Here's like a pipe bomb. I didn't even really necessarily like the patriotic stuff during the 9/11 thing, but it was an acknowledgement, and it was the World Series, and it was one of the first events to happen ever since in New York, and I think in sports, right? I think that the WWE had like a SmackDown show. That was one of the first gatherings after the events. But that was cool because the thing is that the country needed to come together at that point. They needed to come together. So I didn't mind it at all. But when ESPN just goes out of their way to report on things that don't got nothing to do with sports, bro, like stuff that has nothing related to sports, bro, that's when the revolt comes. That's when people were like, look, man, like I don't want to hate LeBron, but I don't like his views on politics. I just don't. So if somebody offers me like a autographed LeBron jersey, I'm gonna think twice. Same thing with Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry's not exempt for that. He's not exempt from criticism for his political views and how people feel politically, man. Like if you're gonna put it on the table for us to examine it, it's something that we're gonna do. All right. Here's one thing that I heard Michael Jordan say. I'm gonna end this right here on this, right? I might clip this out. We'll clip a couple of these things out. Here's something that Michael Jordan said back in the day. He said, politically, no matter of fact, he didn't say, I would say, I'm not going to quote him like, or anything like that. He said something in the area of Republican wears Jordans too. All right. That's what he said. So he just kind of played it even because he wanted everybody to wear his shoe. He didn't care about political lines or anything. He didn't take political sides or anything. He never did that as a player because he was there to be the greatest of all time. He wasn't there to divide and make people feel as though that they can't wear his shoes because of their political views. He didn't care about their political views. He cared about if they're going to wear his shoe. And ESPN should care about if people are going to watch their product for sports, because if it's not about sports, if it's not sports related, you're not only hurting the people that are viewing the product, but you're wasting the time of future viewers, right? Could you imagine being 8, to 9 years old watching Sports Center right now, and then you turn it on, and then you see, oh, this MLB player doesn't want to wear this Pride jersey. This NHL player doesn't want to wear this Pride jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this like it's just so many things that is not related to sports that are in sports, and not only is ESPN taking these hits, bro, but these professional leagues are taking these hits too. It's not just ESPN that's going down in flames. These sports, like the thing that keeps sports, right, like somewhat exempt from criticism is the fact that they've got the stars, man. The stars at the end of the day tell the story. It's not ESPN that tells the story. They're just regurgitating the story. They don't tell the story. The players on the field tell the story. The players on the court tell the story. That's what we care about. We care about what's happening on the court, on the field, all that stuff, right? I know the John Moran's thing is a big story. Like deep down inside, I really don't care what that dude do. And you want to know why I feel that way? Because it's not sports related. If he's not on the court, right? If he's not making headlines on the court, then he's wasting my time, right? Even back in the day with the Ray Caruth case, y'all remember that? The whole Ray Caruth case? Man, like you think about that, like watching that case as a kid. It's the lead story on SportsCenter, but he was doing something that was wrong. He was doing something that's wrong, and it was related to him not being on the field, and it hurt. Like, but the thing is that it was sports relevant. It wasn't necessarily politics. That's the reason why I'm saying that. Like the stuff with John Moran, I don't necessarily mind that either because it's sports relevant. It's something that's keeping him off the court. But when they inject things that don't belong on TV, that's when they get in trouble. That's when they get into trouble. You know, I want to be fair to companies like ESPN. I want to be non-biased and all this other stuff, but I can't. I can't be because when you see what they're putting on TV, right? You see the biases, the racism, the race baiting. You know what I'm saying? Like the politics that get wrapped up into it. It's just something that I don't want to watch, and I wouldn't promote anybody to watch it, man. I don't watch First Take. I don't watch the show that Max Kellerman was on because he just got laid off, right? Don't watch Ryan and DC. I don't watch any of that stuff. I don't watch any of those sports shows on ESPN. I didn't watch Skip and Shannon. I didn't watch any of that stuff. You want to know why? Because it wasn't just sports. It was sports, politics, everything in between. They couldn't keep it sports. That's the reason why I'm not sitting over here waking up in the morning to watch First Take or Skip and Shannon back in when that was on, and listening to these dudes spew out their political biases, wrapped it in to sports commentary. I don't want it. People didn't want it, and that's the reason why ESPN is laying off all these people. That's the reason why they're laying off these people. They're laying off all these people because they couldn't keep it sports, man. Don't watch First Take. Don't watch Skip and Shannon. Any of these daily, weekly talk shows, man. We don't want to hear it. It's old guard. Throw up a show about highlights. Have somebody break down what actually happened. You know, during sports. I don't want to hear no dude, no suit. You know what I'm saying, with a slick back hair, greased out hair. I don't want to hear no dude that played one or two seasons give some type of analyst a breakdown and then wrap in his political beliefs right in the middle of it. I don't want it. Take it back. I don't want it. Take it back. Not watching these sports shows. I mean, I'm just going on this little rant because I want people to understand that people getting laid off. It is what it is, man. I gotta keep it sports. ESPN can't keep it sports driven, then they're going to pay that price, man. They're going to have viewership drop off. They're going to have to lay off a whole bunch of these big names and stuff, try to save costs and try to turn their stuff positive. But it's not going to happen because they're just so too far gone now, man. It's so too far gone. You know, and that's the sad part. Used to love ESPN, but, you know, they got these trash shows on there like First Take with Stephen A. Yes, it's trash. I would never sit there and watch that thing ever again. Doesn't matter who they bring on there. You know what I'm saying? They could bring um anybody up on there, and I would just not watch First Take. You know, not because I dislike Stephen A. It's just kind of what he represents at this point. I've seen him on Fox. He's doing this thing on Fox. You know, he should just leave us like what he should do. He should just leave us ESPN for real. He's bigger than the network at this point. They need him. He doesn't need them. Stephen A. Smith does not need ESPN. ESPN need him at this point. That's the reason why he wasn't laid off, for real. And here's one thing that I want people to understand: just because these guys and girls got laid off from ESPN, doesn't mean that they're going to struggle. They're not going to struggle, man. They're going to get jobs somewhere else. It's just that ESPN just can't afford them, probably, and they're trying to change the identity from being sports and politics to just being sports. So they have to start. Listen, they have to start with changing the identity of the network, which means that you got to get rid of Jalen Rose, who's talking about the what is it called, Mount Rushmore being offensive. You know, like it's just weird, man. They can't keep this stuff sports, man. They just can't keep it sports. And they think that people want to wake up in the morning, or they think that people want to tune into a game Saturday night and then hear somebody's opinion. Like, no, no, no. If your opinion that's sports related, keep it to yourself, man. Even the stuff on TNT at times bothers me. So just being objective, that's a big word. Even the stuff on TNT bothers me. You know what I'm saying? At times. Because not all of it is sports related. I know it's supposed to be entertainment, but geez, the stuff is just hard to watch, and we gotta tell them. We gotta tell them. They're trying to change their identity. That's what ESPN is trying to do. They're trying to change their identity back to being about sports, and they're probably, listen to what I'm saying, they're probably going to fail. They're probably going to fail at this point. They're probably going to fail. They're probably just too far gone at this point. If it's not about sports, like, people are just going to revolt and just stop watching it. So that's my rant. I might chop that up and put it up there. I'm not trying to spread time or what have you. You know what I'm saying? To just kind of get to that 3 hour mark. Nah, I'm not doing that. It's just that I wanted to speak on that and just let people know where I stand on that, because I used to love ESPN. I was either watching ESPN when I was younger. I was either watching live sports or cartoons. When I needed a break from sports, hold on.